If you somehow didn't know, for over half a year now, I have been busy building my very own custom theme park in Planet Coaster 2, named Isle of Discovery, where we have so many different themed lands and roller coasters, with stories delving into steampunk, Egyptian, and now, most recently, the Wild West. Because in the last episode, I built 2 brand new roller coasters that would duel with each other across the plains of the Wild West. And as much as those 2 coasters were very cool, we needed another ride in that area as well. So by popular demand, I am going to build a brand new indoor dark ride coaster themed to the Wild West, obviously, in this episode today. So be sure to watch till the end so you can see what I have done so far, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss future episodes much like this one. Episode 27 now we are on. That is mental. I say it every time, but we're even closer to the end of this series now. What is going to happen, guys? Obviously, I'm going to start a new one at some point. But as you can see, let's forget about the fact this is ending soon. We want to talk about what is going on, what I am building right here. The Wild West, then. So pretty much in the last episode, if you saw, we built the 2 coasters, and then I went round and did loads of path work to try and work out what the area could be like. And from there, I did nothing. So, in this episode, we're now going forward with those pathways and stuff and making that main street that you can see. I spoke about it last time, making some buildings, and we're also going to be making a dark ride roller coaster. Now, I know so many of you guys were suggesting you need to do a shooter dark ride, like that's such a common thing in Western areas, and there is still definitely one coming, because I feel like there might be another bit in this area that I would like to do that in, because again, we don't have enough dark rides, and I seem to make everything a roller coaster, as I have today. But there will be space for it later down the line, and yeah, we will build that dark ride at some point, whether it be a shooter ride or something else, because even I don't know, and I'm the one building the bloody park. You may think, oh, you've got a plan for what you want to build. When I go into these themed areas, I have an idea of the main coaster or the main ride in that area. So for instance, I wanted it to be the Dance Macabre style ride in Lantasia, the Chinese themed area. I wanted a Mack hypercoaster in the Egyptian bit. And in this, I wanted a dueling wooden and RMC roller coaster. But from that point, I have no idea what I'm making. The Valhalla idea in the Egyptian themed area, that came about so randomly, and even this multi-dimension coaster that I'm going to build, that comes around so randomly as well. But that will go on that plaza area you can see in the top right, just out of the screen, because here I was considering a dark ride. Behind these buildings you could see the little like archway one that I put on that main street. That could be the entrance to some sort of dark ride. I was thinking about it, and I definitely did try, but it was way too small of an area, and I was going to remove some trees, but then that obviously impacted the Egyptian themed area, and you don't just want a warehouse sticking out into that area. So I decided not to, and instead we're going to build another ride much bigger up at the back. But as you can see, some theming going in just in this tiny little circle with some cacti and everything. I really love the fact that in the most recent update, even though I'm building the Western theme, and the most recent one has added sci-fi, but we'll get onto that later. I'm a bit behind. The stamp delete tool that they have added is a lifesaver. Like, you can just delete little bits, like squares, hexagons, octagons, and circles now. I don't know how it wasn't in the game originally, but you can actually make circular paths now. So thank the Lord for that. It's going to help me so much, not only in this project, but in the Universal project, maybe even in Valgard as well. Not too sure, but I'm absolutely loving the new updates. The game is definitely in a place now that I feel like it probably is now exceeding what it should have been at launch, because I feel like maybe a couple months back was when, right, this is what it should have been like at launch, this is great, and now it's just exceeding that over and over again, and I'm just waiting for those swing launches to come in the game. I know you can mod them and you can glitch the game out and do it that way, but I would love to see an Intamin swing launch like Tutatis or something like that. It'd be really, really cool. But as you can see, more theming. Just putting some planters up. I really do love the Wild West pack. which is exactly why I do want to build another dark ride in this area, because I feel like dark rides you get the most theming out of. I know a lot of you want to see a mine train coaster. I mentioned that last time. The rocks as well in the most recent update that you can recolor. Fantastic. I absolutely love that. It's been a lifesaver, because originally I was just going to use the tropical rocks and just have them sat in the area. I've actually put some around the later stages of the 2 coasters when this update wasn't out, but now it's out. Such a help. Like, I can't believe it's such a small feature, but for the Western theme as well, putting that orange rockwork back in, well, any colour rockwork, it's amazing. I absolutely love it. So, very happy for that. Right here then, I had this space. You've just seen me put a massive pathway piece behind that building. That is going to be a restaurant, so that's fine. As you can see, I'm trying to put a train in there. Didn't go to plan. But this bit here, I decided to turn into a little walkthrough bit. You know, at Disneyland Paris especially, this is where I mainly got my inspiration from. In Frontierland, they have this walkthrough that you can literally just go into whenever you want. There's no queue for it. You walk up some stairs, you see a bit of theming, you see like animatronics and stuff. You get some really cool views, and then you just go out into the main pathway again where you started. And I thought it'd be pretty cool to do something like that just on that hill there, because there's literally no point in using it for anything else, because there's nothing else it could be used for. It's too small of a hill. The carousel is having some theming put around it. Obviously the inspiration there from the western area, the far west at Portaventura. They have like the massive carousel in the center. Looks really nice. So I thought I'd do the same. And then you've got a frozen piece of footage. Just sat there. Loving life. There we go, we're back now, as you can see, putting in like a little river that actually comes from the main lake in the center of the rides, and also that sort of little rivery bit, that's a good word, from the actual Lantasia area as well. They all interlink, you know. You've got lakes and rivers that run from the main entrance portal all the way to the Viking area. There's loads of stuff like that. It's great. We love natural water reservoirs. Going back to that entrance though, where that water is, I want to quickly talk about how this series has just developed over time, because of course we did start with the entrance, makes sense, and then we worked our way around to the Greek themed area of Olympus, and then did all the coasters and rides there, worked our way to the Viking themed area, steampunk, the jungle, the little ethereal gardens section as well, and then of course the later stages where you have the Chinese themed area, Egyptian, and now the Far West, and then that final one that will be coming soon. And of course in between all that, a water park, a Viking themed water park. It's been so much going on at Isle of Discovery. I've absolutely loved every minute of building this project. Obviously, there's been a few tedious little bits here and there. There's even still stuff in the previous areas that I still haven't completed yet fully. It's very small details, but they all add up to make a theme park. So if there's any missing walls and stuff, I will rectify that, even if it has released at the time. But I am going to go back and try and finish absolutely everything. It's very small things, because we're now in the later stages of the project. All the way over here at the back of the park. I've learned so much with this project as well. Obviously, this is my first ever custom theme park in Planet Coaster as a whole, not just Planet Coaster 2. And we've been building this for over half a year now. I think it's been 7 months almost, which is mental, and it's coming along very nicely. The only thing is, next time when I do a park series, you might be thankful for this, you might not like this. The series is going to be a lot shorter, and the park is not going to be as big. I didn't realise the task I set myself up for when I started building this park, and gave myself all of this room to build whatever I want. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, because you've got this entire flat piece of land, and I'm trying to fill every bit of it. I usually went into Planet Coaster parks and just sat there looking at the whole thing and went, there's no way you could fill a whole theme park's worth in this land. It's huge, and we've gone and done it. So I feel like the next series won't be as long, it won't be as big of a park. The series will probably last maybe like 15 episodes, if that, and it will be a lot more detailed in those areas, because of course with these sorts of areas now, trying to conserve the piece count a little bit, because the piece count is getting horrendous and it's going to start killing my PC even more than it already is if I start using all these little pieces to make different things. And with the smaller park in the next series, when that happens, we can do that because it'll be a lot smaller of a park. In this one we cannot. There's no way I can actually make smaller individual pieces. I would love to still do that. I would love to make this area as intricately detailed as possible, but I'm working with what I've got. And I don't think I've done too bad with it. So it's not going to be the best area in the park, the Wild West, purely because of those limiting factors. But I'm trying my best, like I said. I'm just excited to see what happens with the next series now. I feel like there's so much opportunity to build themes that we haven't in this series itself. There's so many different themes we haven't covered. The new themes that are coming out, we're obviously getting fairy tale and pirates that are going to be coming out this month, I think. Yes, this month, when you're watching this in June. And it's going to be incredible to see those themes back. And then after that, we should get some more themes that are maybe original themes, not from the previous game, which would be great as well. So definitely expect a new series shortly after this one finishes. There'll probably be a bit of a gap just to give me a break from the game and sort of like just refresh my mind on some different things that I want to try in the next one. But yeah, you'll see that very shortly after this one finishes. So for those of you wondering where the next series will be, if there will be one, there definitely will be. So stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss that in the future. Let's talk about the present then. As you can see, I am now starting a brand new roller coaster. This is the dark coaster I was speaking about, the Intamin multi-dimension indoor ride. You probably just saw it for a split second. The facade is already half complete, and I just don't know what happened to the recording. I can't remember whether I clicked record and it's been deleted, or whether I've done something, or I didn't even click record in general. I don't know what's happened, but I sincerely apologise about that. The same can be said for the inside theming as well. I just haven't recorded it. I don't know where it's gone. I'm pretty sure I did, but clearly not. You didn't miss much though. It's a lot of just rock work and buildings and stuff, which you've already seen from the main street. But at least you get to see the coaster being built, because as you can see, we already have a first turn into a launch, and then this nice helix section here. The only thing I wanted to do with this layout was make it long, enjoyable, and actually have theming around it, because Uncharted, which is the one at Portaventura, is a very fun ride. I really do enjoy it, but the layout is very short. There's not too many trick track elements, which doesn't matter too much, but there's no theming. Like, absolutely none. Spoiler alert. But yeah, it's just literally screens, no rock work. You can literally see the metal cladding of the warehouse and everything whilst you're rushing around it. It's not good. So what I wanted to do was make a ride that is a long duration ride. As you can see, it's already got 2 launches and 1 trick track element, and also is different. I didn't want to just put the same trick track elements over and over again. So right there, you've got like this 90-degree tilt that sort of puts you up and down a little bit, and then you go down to the right. That's a bit different because you're still going out forwards. To what I'm about to build here, that is not staying as a drop track. No, I think I replaced that later down the line, or I might replace it now. There you go, I'm replacing it now. It actually gets replaced with a tilt track, like a seesaw one. So that actually does rock you back and forth, upwards and downwards, and then sends you backwards. So it's different enough from that 90-degree one. I think so anyway. And then here was where I had a bit of trouble. So you won't see it fully in this time lapse, but as you can see, I've just put a switch track in with an outer bank turn going round to the brake run. Obviously, that's not too long of a ride now, because it just goes into 1 trick track element, then a launch, then it goes into another one, goes backwards into this switch track, and then that's it. That's done. So what I did is, you won't see it in this time lapse as I said, I got rid of the switch track. I decided, let's make this a little bit longer. So I added a drop track back into it because I really wanted to make like an explosive mine where everything goes wrong, drops down, then you go backwards or forwards, and then you go into the final part of the ride, and you've got this really cool finale. Whether it be with a switch track or a launch or something, would be really, really cool. Then I found replacing that switch track at the end with a drop track meant that the train would return to the station and completely delete itself and reset the entire track and close the ride. Got no idea what was going on there, because it literally entered the right way. It entered forwards, it was completely fine, and then it just reset the ride. So no idea, but I managed to get past that by adding yet another switch track towards the end. So you'll actually see the switch track below disappear, the drop track goes in, there's like a turn into a switch track, and then it finishes the ride. And that seemed to work fine. I don't know why on earth, despite the fact the train was traveling the correct direction, it didn't want to work. It was very strange, because obviously, as you can see, it enters that switch track backwards. It would then enter the drop track backwards. That would then go out forwards. It made no sense to me, but there you go. We got past it in the end, and that is what matters. And I've recolored the track, and I'm going to decorate the trains. Did I do that in this time lapse? I don't think so, but we're going to go and look at it in real time. Right now, welcome to the far west. Of course, behind us we have, oh, Jesus, that's a big sign. Behind, of course, we have Ramesses, and then over here is the entrance to the far west, or the Wild West, whatever you want to call it. This area still needs a name, so any name suggestions, keep them coming. And yeah, you'll walk down this main street section. There's going to be a restaurant in there. Obviously, that looks like it was going to be a queue line, but I decided against a ride in there because it wasn't big enough. And over here on the right, as much as it is unfinished, you probably see some sort of like fast food takeaway place, or maybe like some seating or something. There is actually toilets over there. Oh, but yes, I've only focused on the one side for now. And there you go. There's the carousel directly in front. I really like this plaza area, actually. Sort of just opens up a little bit, but you can still see so much going on in the background, such as the two wooden coasters running, and obviously that gyro swing as well if it wants to swing up. It doesn't want to swing up. Oh! You got a really nice view here of just a little pond area that links to that river, and you've got like the rockwork in the background of the facade of the dark ride coaster. A little seating area under that cover, and you can even see Egypt, which breaks the immersion, but what can you do? And we're not going to delve too deep into this in this episode, because this will be more next episode when we finish off the area. I actually have started the station building and facade for these two coasters. Obviously a very red and blue versus style theme, and they do actually have a name each, but I'm going to save that for the next episode, because this episode is about what's in front of us, not the seating area, because that's boring. The facade for this building right here, and as you can see, the mountain in the background goes quite high up. You've got a train carriage right in front there, and you've got a shop down here as well. This is very much inspired from Uncharted, and of course this will need a name as well to go directly in front right here on top of the queue line entrances. So if you have any name suggestions so far, leave them in the comments. I would love to see them. This is a tiny look at the queue line area for this coaster. As you can see, there's not too much going on, but I'll show you more next time. And right here is a very work in progress station. I mean, the exit station is literally still outdoors, so that shows you it's not ready. But I wanted to quickly show you, with this very bright light, the actual trains for the ride. As you can see, I've done a little bit of theming on it. It's got this handrail at the front. You've got like this wooden cladding at the front as well. You've got like a wanted poster there. You've got some nice like flags at the back. And I think it's just a nice train design, you know? It's nothing too special. It's a dark ride. You're not going to see it majorly. It works for the theme that we're going for, and I quite like it. And as you can see, the scenes on the ride have started going in as well. I'm trying to light them up better than I did in the Valhalla style boat ride in Egypt. I feel like this is a bit better lighting. The only issue with this game is that when it is too bright, the walls are bright as well. But as you can see, the train gets shot by this bandit, and then you spin around and you go into your first launch, which once again we'll take a behind the scenes look at right here. You can see this sort of just very simple facade that you'll fly through on there. You also go through these wooden post sort of archways as well. There'll be a sign up here that says something on it, and then you actually see these birds fly over as you actually crest over this hill really slowly, which is one of my favorite effects on the ride. And we'll try and catch that in action now. As you can see, the lights come on. You've got these lights, and then here come the birds. Wow, look at that. It's like a slow motion shot. You then head around one part of this helix here, and all the lights sort of flash, and you see like gunshots coming across, and there's water like spewing out of this, which is really cool. And then as it's doing right now, you actually head into the first special element of the ride, where you think you're going to travel down that cave there, which actually does look like you are going to go down some track that way. But of course, as in typical theme park fashion, you turn away from that cave and go into the do not enter cave down here. It's typical, innit? There's either a curse or something dangerous happening. You then go into a quick slalom between the rocks, nothing special, and then you go into this bit here, which just has like an animatronic oil rig arm. And then you go into this section here, which I really like. It's the seesaw element, and as you can see, you sort of see this machine to your left moving, and then you start rocking back and forth, which is quite cool, because obviously you have that guard up on your left and right, but you can still see it over the top, so it's a very subtle element. but then you drop down beneath you. You then follow round to this section here, which is where there's loads of dynamite, and then suddenly all will explode and you drop down, and there's a fire effect down here as well, which I really like. A really dark section of the ride with some effects that happen as you go past, but again, I'm going to save them for the POV in a later episode when it's all complete. Got one final launch through underneath that collapsed piece of wood, with one final scene that I will show you on that POV, and then back into the brake run and into the exit offload station. I have tried the best I can, and I really like this facade. I'm enjoying building the inside of the ride so far, and there is more to come. So yes, any name suggestions or storyline suggestions for that ride would be very much appreciated in the comments. And in the next episode, you'll see full POVs of that ride, the 2 wooden roller coasters, and also any future rides to come. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future episodes and these final stages of Isle of Discovery. Thank you for watching.